Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW Figs here, back again with another video. Today, going to be giving you my thoughts and my reactions to Impact Rebellion. We have a brand new Impact and AEW World Champion, but I'll get to that in a moment. But before I do, make sure you like the video, comment down below what you thought of Impact Rebellion, and make sure you subscribe to NLW Figs. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I want to preface this by saying I've only seen the main event in full. The rest of the card I've seen in highlight form, but I might go back and watch some of the matches in full at a later date. But I'll just give you some of my quick thoughts and rundowns of the results. So the opener was Josh Alexander beating Ace Austin and TJP for the X Division Championship. You know, I like Josh Alexander in the North, so I think him as champion now is quite good. I think he can elevate the championship a little bit more. I like his technical style. And you know what? Ace Austin, he was a good champion. I like the stuff he was doing in this one. I haven't seen that much of him in the past, but he was pulling out all sorts of different kind of kicks and things. And there was one moment where Josh Alexander, he had a suplex hooked on Austin and a reverse back suplex hit on TJP at the same time from the top rope, which was pretty cool. So excited to see what Josh Alexander does for the X Division. Next up, we had the 8-man tag team match. It was Violent by Design against Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, James Storm, and Willie Mack. I feel like those four guys could be doing a lot more in Impact, but that's just me. Anyway, this was the main point of the match, was that the debut of Kaz, now known as William Morrissey, his real name. So I'm in two minds about this. The name, I don't know about going with his real name. Maybe Kaz was a little bit better in my opinion, but it's good to see him kind of in shape again, and looking forward to seeing what they do with him on Impact. I think, you know, he's had a rough couple of years, so looking forward to seeing him bounce back with Eric Young by his side. And a couple of other quick results. We had Brian Myers beating Matt Cardona. We also had Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering becoming the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, which, you know, looking forward to seeing what that team does. Trey Miguel beat Sami Callihan in a last man standing match. I watched a bit more of this matchup than the other ones. I like the kind of pace of it for the most part. The 10 counts, it did break up the action a little bit, but that's what you get with last man standing matches. Trey, though, he's always fighting, and I love their match from Impact a couple of weeks ago, so glad with the result here for Trey Miguel finally getting the win over Sami Callihan. And we also had FinJuice beating the Good Brothers for the tag team titles, so that kind of shocked me. I thought they might put the Good Brothers over again, but it's good to see that FinJuice are going to get extended tag reign, it seems. And we also had Deonna Purrazzo retaining the Impact Women's Championship, the Knockouts title, against Tennille Dashwood. And now let's move on to the main event. We had Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, taking on Rich Swann, the Impact World Champion. And first of all, let me just say, it's good to see Mauro Ranallo back on commentary. I miss seeing him on NXT, hearing his voice, so he was very much hyping this match up, and he improved it, I believe, with his contributions. And I also like Max Striker, to be fair. Early on, though, it's mostly Kenny Omega dominating the match. Rich Swann, he's getting a couple of hope spots in, but ultimately Kenny sniffs him out. There's a couple of moments where Rich Swann is on the top rope, he's going for these high-flying maneuvers, but Kenny Omega catches him out. There's one point where Omega just drops Swann on the apron and then just stomps over him. I like how this one is paced. I think it was perfectly well done in that regard, but it was a little bit obvious who was going to win throughout the match, but it didn't hurt my enjoyment too much. So you had Kenny Omega being cocky, and that almost cost him. There are a couple of moments where Rich Swann rolled up Kenny Omega when Kenny Omega was getting too cocky, and it looked as if Rich Swann might pull off an upset, but no, he kicks out. There's loads of V-triggers in this one. There is a cool moment where Rich Swann tries to reverse a top rope Snapdragon, I believe, into a Sunset Bomb, which is good. And I like how commentary are putting it over, like, if he keeps doing this move, Kenny's going to counter him. I like the little details in the commentary like that. So Omega, he keeps blasting Rich Swann with these V-triggers. He tries to hit a one-winged angel, but Rich Swann fights out of it. Ultimately, though, Omega hits a German suplex and then another V-trigger. Rich Swann, he keeps kicking out of all the finishes, including a hook pile driver, I think it is, and he kicks out of that. And then finally, one-winged angel, nobody kicks out. Omega is the new Impact World Champion and AEW World Champion, the belt collector, standing with 3 belts to end the show. So my only nitpick with this one is that the result was far too obvious. You knew that Omega was going to win the championship because they haven't been hyping it up on Dynamite at all, which I think is a mistake, because this should be a really big deal, and it doesn't really feel like it's been built up that way on Dynamite, at least. Maybe on Impact it has, but I haven't really caught it the past few weeks. I don't think that Rich Swann has been the best Impact World Champion, but I think he held his own in this match, and I liked the fire that he had in it. It's just a shame it was so predictable. Nevertheless, though, still a solid match, and probably a good match. I'd recommend going out your way to watch it. It was certainly entertaining throughout. So Kenny Omega now as the Impact World Champion as well. Going to be seeing him on Impact Wrestling as well as Dynamite, so it'll be good to see him with the titles. I hope that he sticks around in Impact and really kind of elevates the brand, because at the moment the only team that really seems to be benefiting from this coalition is Dynamite, it seems, because they're the ones getting the TV ads in on Impact, and now with Kenny Omega hopefully getting boosted on Impact Wrestling, it will give the show a much needed facelift. But you know what, from what I've seen of the card, it looks pretty good, and I might go back and watch some of the matches. But a solid night of action, capped off by a great main event, even though it was a little bit predictable. Looking forward to seeing what Kenny Omega does now as the AEW and Impact World Champion, especially now what's going to happen come Slammiversary when you've got all the recently released WWE stars potentially going to get signed. So Omega versus Samoa Joe, perhaps? Wishful thinking. Anyway, but thank you for watching. I want to know what you thought of Impact Rebellion. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, helps get the channel out there, and remember to subscribe to NLW Figs. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.